is essentially that we are running on a series of programs that are already operative within us. And these programs, you could think of them as computer programs in our brain. These programs have been set up and they are out of sight from us, and yet they tend to predict and describe what is possible for us. And so today what I'd like us to do is to spend some time getting our hearts and minds in a conditioned way and to set up a potential practice for each of us that we can practice so that we get our hearts and minds in a powerful state of coherence. And by being in that state of coherence, we have the capacity to make changes at depth. Having made changes at depth on us, then we approach the world and even see the world quite differently. But one of the beauties of this whole thing is that we will already have the experience that we would like to have. So if it's love, a love life we want to have, we can already experience that love from the inside before it shows up in the outside. Or if it's abundance or health, we can already have the feeling state, the experience state of that. But to get there, there are a couple of things we need to do. One is we need to take the mind out of its normal way of thinking, its normal rate of vibrating. Its wave pattern needs to slow down. And if it slows down enough, then we get beneath the layer that is going to be judging what we're doing, the one that's going to say, well, you can't say that to yourself. That's not true. You can't say you're healthy because I know you have cancer right now. You can't say that. Or you can't say I'm abundant because your bank account is negative. We need to get below that. It's not that it won't be there when we come back, but we get below that so that we begin to talk to the part of us that is automatic, to the programming within us. And therefore, the first part of meditation is to quiet the mind. And then the second part is to expand the mind. First, we bring it down, and then we expand it out. And as we expand it out, we begin to realize that we are actually more energy than matter, more spirit than body. And that becomes the spaciousness that brings the mind into even quieter state, but also brings us down to the level at which we might be able to affect these processes that are happening inside our brain on an automatic basis. That we might begin to put new words, new thoughts, new ideas and actions in place because we have expanded our sense of self for sure, but in so doing, we cease to be in that repetitive do it phase. We will see the world differently, and therefore we will experience the world differently, but it will set us up to have the experience of being in the subconscious, and we can affect it by the words and the feelings we bring to it. And now, if we bring our heart and our mind into coherence with each other, into a state of resonating at the same way, in a steady, harmonious way, two things will happen. One is there will be a greater sense of peace and tranquility. But secondly, we'll have more power in whatever we're doing. For when the mind and the heart are working together and not bouncing all over the place, then just like any group of people who decide to do the same thing together, there's much more power. So we're going to work on opening essentially ourselves to the spaciousness and then aligning ourselves within ourselves so there's a congruence between the head and the heart. And as we do that, we should be laying the groundwork for us to put in a new idea into the subconscious and let that become the program that needs to run and provide us more abundance, love, peace, etc. Joe Dispenza has a wonderful series on this. He says you must get past your analytical mind to affect your subconscious mind. And largely what it means is suspending this critical thinking that has kept us believing what we have been seeing. We want to get to a place where we can create within ourselves the sensations of feeling and visualizing a different world, the world we want, not the one we're in, so that we can change our programming inside our brains to support our highest ideals. And so, deepening into meditation, quieting the mind, letting the mind slip below the level of the analytical aspect of it, and come into a state of openness, and then planning the thought that you would like to see manifest, and even visualizing and feeling that is the process of changing yourself so your circumstances can change. This is a beautiful practice. And if nothing else comes from it, you'll wake up from each meditation a little calmer, a little clearer, and more at peace. But I think if you try it, you'll find that you become more of who you've designed yourself to be and less of who you were programmed to be as a child. May this turn out to be a beautiful experience for you.